Hello again everybody, back with another video. This one I'm looking at the Monterey Park mass shooting event of the 21st of Jan 2023, which was the Chinese Lunar New Year's Eve, and quite a few people, according to the reports, were shot and injured or shot and killed. So the Monterey Park mass shooting event of the 21st of Jan 2023. So let's get into it. So the date of the incident is January the 21st, 2023, as I've just said. And we got a 21 for 3x7 for 777. And if we put January 21 into the calculator for numerology, so it counts 21 plus January, and we get in full reduction 48, and 48 is also 666 in full reduction or Pythagorean numerology. So we've got a 777 and a 666 in the date before we've even got started. So moving on, they identified a 72-year-old man as the suspected gunman. So we've got 72, and in Chaldean that's 777, so we have a 777 there. And we've got the Lunar New Year, and Lunar is 66 in English ordinal. A is 1, Z is 26, and of course that is 33, which is 66 in Pythagorean numerology. So 66 code is 33 code. So this is just a summary at the time. This is an earlier report, 10 killed, 10 wounded, and it turned out that the suspect who was at large killed himself, and the suspect is Hu Can Tran. He, as I say, shot himself, and the total casualties therefore are 10 plus 10 plus the suspect. So we have a 21 for 3 sevens for 777. And you'll see that the casualty death report has now gone up to 11. So here it is, the later report. There are 11 dead and 9 wounded, and of course that gives us 9/11. So this is just a summary of what happened inside the studio. There's various things. We'll look at some of the names here in terms of Garvey Avenue, but it said 3 people rushed into the restaurant and told him to lock the door. The shooter, they said, had multiple rounds of ammunition, so that once his ammunition ran out, he reloaded. So does that mean he had multiple magazines and he just reloaded quickly, or he had one magazine and he had to reload it, which had given plenty of time to grab him? But we'll see how many high capacity magazines this guy had, and high capacity is a theme of this. So he did this in the first shooting, apparently in the Star Dance studio, and then he went on to Alhambra, and he had the gun taken off him there, and we'll look at that later. But if we look at Alhambra, that is 56 for 7 times 7 plus 7, so we have a 7 there. 56 is also 911, so we have a 9/11. We had a 9/11 with the number of deaths and the number of injured, and also 56 is 156, and 156 is 666 in Pythagorean. So that 56 has plenty of codes associated with it. Now here's a layout of the Star Dance studio where the first shooting allegedly took place. And if we look here, Star Dance studio is again that number 56, which is, they can be 911, 777, and also 666, as we've seen before. So this is 7 times 7 for 49 plus 7 for 56. And we've also got Garvey Avenue, and Garvey, it has to be there somewhere, doesn't it, in full reduction or Pythagorean numerology, is 33 for masonry. This is just another report from the BBC showing the Star Dance Studio, and interestingly it all started at 2222, so we've got potentially master numbers there. We've also got, if you add these together, we got 44 for the kill number or death's doors. So we'll have a look now at some videos of some of the witnesses. I'll just drop some comments in there, maybe verbal, I don't know because I haven't done it yet, or it could be just in terms of text form.
David, an absolutely terrifying ordeal. The victim we spoke with says that there were about 50 people inside the studio here last night, all out on the dance floor enjoying the night, when that gunfire suddenly erupted.
The first shot when he came in, you know, on the counter, you know, like you do, and then finish. Suddenly it's quiet.
Carnage inside the Star Dance Studio. Shally was dancing with her longtime friend and dance partner when the gunman walked in the front door and opened fire.
That's why I wrap my partner. We go to hide on the table.
She says her 62-year-old friend, whom she doesn't want to identify, was shot in the back, saving her from the bullet.
After the suspect do the shooting finished, he left, and then I call my partner, wake up, he don't wake up. And I realized all my hands are blood.
Because he was a nice guy, he helped me a lot, we help each other, if we need something. You say, okay, you need something? Okay, I come to help you. You need, we were each other helping.
Popular dance instructor Mingwei Ma, another one of the victims. His love of dancing crossing all genres and demographics. Known for his patience and understanding, friends say he gave his life to try to save others.
Mr. Ma, who is very beloved and respected in the dance community, and he's been doing that for over 20 years. He was trying to stop a shooter, and he passed away.
Shally says she thought the terror was over after the first round of gunfire, but says the gunman went outside and reloaded his weapon.
And I see he's coming back. Brum, brum, brum. Another, oh my God.
When the shooting finally stopped, 2 of her friends were dead, several others shot. The images and sounds forever seared in her memory.
Oh my God, over here one, you know, like you were found at that time, oh my God.
Shame she has that ridiculous face muzzle on, but I suppose it hides the anguish on her face. But somebody that's had their dance partner shot to death in the back, and basically while probably dancing together, and she got covered in blood, but she still managed to speak to the media like that. So obviously a very, very strong individual.
Heartbreaking, and it's unthinkable to think that it would happen.
So I read this is the 33rd mass shooting in the United States in the month of January. So there have been more mass shootings than days.
Obviously a very strong individual to be smiling with such a tragic shooting taking place, and also well genned up to know it's the 33rd mass shooting this year. So really stepping up over there in America at the moment. Okay, so that was the witnesses and some of the kind of bystanders after the event. So let's move on. So this was just talking about that one guy that said it's the 33rd mass shooting. He nearly got his number wrong, if you notice the little stutter there. But it truly is the 33rd mass shooting of 2023. So wasn't a lot going on during COVID, but obviously they're really stepping this up now. You can't have a great reset and take people's property and standard of living away and have the people more armed than the government. So I won't say too much more, but you can probably work out what the theme of everything is here. So moving on to the police chief. The police chief here, before we get to that, sorry, this guy, Tran, died of self-inflicted gunshot wounds, so he actually shot himself, and this was in a parking lot near this Sepulveda, and Sepulveda is, in full reduction, Pythagorean numerology 33, so we have a 33. But the police chief, would you believe it, this is the lunar New Year's Eve, and the police chief is Robert Luna. So here he is, look, there's the Luna on his top, and Luna is 48, and that is 666 in Pythagorean numerology. So we have a 666 county sheriff or police chief here. Now he's going to give a breakdown of how many shots were fired, and was a high capacity magazine used. It's a theme, so you probably expect it to be. So let's hear what he's got to say.
From the Monterey Park scene, where the victims were assassinated, investigators recovered a total of 42 shell casings and a large capacity magazine. So 42 rounds were fired by the suspect at that location. Investigators also recovered a Norinco 7.62 by 25 handgun from inside the suspect's cargo van. That's the handgun that you saw being recovered from the van yesterday afternoon. That firearm was registered to the suspect.
So there's the magic number 42 for 6 times 6 plus 6 and 7 times 7 minus 7, as you'll see in the caption that's going past. And also 4 and 2 is 118 and 37. 37 for 3 sevens for 777, and the 118 for 777 in Chaldean numerology. And of course there was one high capacity magazine found, and of course that's the key theme to this, and I would imagine lots more restrictions are on the way for high capacity magazines, but they only found one, so he can only have changed once and dropped a magazine, not many times reloading. But anyway, let's get on and see what's next. So here we have some CCTV footage from Lay Dance Studio when Wing came with his gun, and he got actually the gun wrestled off him by our hero, who is on the left of the picture there. So that's Wing, and our hero's there, and they're clearly in the Lay studio, and this guy, as you'll see, very convincingly takes the gun off. But Lay is 44 in English ordinal for the kill number, or for death's doors, which is a very popular number. And here is our hero, this guy, and his name is Brandon Sai, who he disarmed Tran, and Tran disappeared off, went off in his van and shot himself apparently. He must have had another gun. And Brandon Sai is 133, and the biblical 666, which is 600, 3 score and 6, is 133. Just a coincidence, of course, but that is 666. Now, let's watch the struggle, and then we'll follow with an interview with this guy. So, obviously, you can see and make your own mind up whether you think this is a true event or not. I'm not saying either way, of course. Now, looking at this, one guy's got a gun with the intent to kill, and the other guy is going to get the gun off him. But there's a fake punch, There's a not, he didn't hit him with a gun. Now, if that was you, you'd either shoot him or you'd swing the gun, you'd kick him. There'd be a far more desperate struggle if that was me and I was taking a gunman down. Believe me, there's no blows going in, there's nothing. He picks up a plastic bottle, doesn't really hit him with it, drops on the floor. I'm not convinced by this, that this is a life and death struggle. There's the plastic bottle there on the floor. I don't know what you think. It's not brilliantly convincing, of course. I'm not saying it's not real. It just doesn't look convincing. It could be, and he's just calmly now walking out and leaving his gun with that guy. He's given up. And that's it. He's off to go off to his van and shoot himself. Does it hang together?
So what time did everything begin to transpire on Sunday?
Around 10:30 is when it started.
Had you heard anything about the shooting in Monterey Park?
No, it was so close to when this incident at my studio happened that there was not enough time for the information to come to me.
So tell me what happened when you first saw him.
So when I first saw him, my thoughts were, oh my God, that's a gun. And what followed was the severity of what I saw. There's a weapon and potentially people could get killed.
He had a handgun?
It was, I'm not too familiar with firearms, but it was some kind of high capacity handheld weapon.
So he's not familiar with firearms, but he knows it's a high capacity handheld weapon. There's this high capacity magazine theme again.
Similar to a handgun.
Was he brandishing it? Was he pointing at anybody?
Yes, he was actually aiming directly at me. But for some reason, the weapon, he hadn't shot it yet.
Did he say anything to you?
No, that was the scary part. When he came in, he said nothing. His face was very stoic. The expressions were mostly in his eyes, looking around, trying to find people, trying to scout the area for other people.
Let's get this clear. He's just gunned down 20 people, killed 10 or 11, but he doesn't shoot this guy that's in front of him.
So how did you decide what to do?
Well, there was a moment I actually froze up because I had the belief that I was going to die. Like, my life was ending here at that very moment. But something amazing happened, a miracle actually. He started to try to prep his weapon so he could shoot everybody.
So he's gone into a dance studio ready to shoot everybody, but he hasn't got his weapon ready to shoot. That does sound a little bit strange to me, I must admit.
But then it dawned on me that this was the moment to disarm him. I could do something here that could protect everybody and potentially save myself.
So you went for it?
Yes, I went for it. There was thought where I was thinking about my family and my friends, what their life would be without me. But even those were leisures I didn't have at the time because I was needed to take action. I needed to get his gun away.
It was closing time. There were only a few of you there. Did anybody else see what was going on?
Well, at the time, there was loud music. It was dimly lit. The people inside didn't notice because, our studio is very vast. There's a lot of moving space. So they were towards the other end of our establishment. They had no idea.
Okay, so you saw that. Now, we've seen that there was a single high-capacity magazine found. Didn't really tie up with what that witness said. He said after he'd shot, he reloaded. He'd have to reload quickly. To reload a high-capacity magazine is going to take quite a bit of time. And by that time, people could have overwhelmed him. So that doesn't add up too well. But who knows? There could have been others that he's took with him and they haven't found yet, of course. So let's have a look at what the governor has to say.
Respectfully, I will submit that regardless of the challenges as it relates to behavioral health, there's not a country in the world that doesn't experience behavioral health issues. Not unique to the United States, quite the contrary. What's unique is these large capacity magazine clips that will take down every single one of you in a matter of seconds. These just weapons of pure mass destruction. And the fact that that is not being addressed in this country is comical. It's disgraceful. It's offensive to the senses, to common sense, to dignity. You claim to care about your kids? We were just talking, the number one killer of our kids last year was guns. The hell's wrong with us? I'm not saying take everybody's guns and stop that, the extreme back and forth. Some damn common sense, common dignity. Freedom to walk the damn streets without being fearful. Kids, literally, kids being traumatized over and over again because of these damn drills at school for shooters, and we're not dealing with the damn issue. So that needs to be addressed. And I know everybody says, well, it's this incident. Well, you know, it's solve for the pattern. Solve for the damn pattern. It's not every incident. It's a pattern over and over and over again. And they're cowering, every single damn one of them. You see some of those folks on the news this weekend. We'll just need more surveillance. I mean, it's comical. It's nonsense. They're wholly owned subsidiaries of these interest groups. It's a disgrace. Only in America. And we're better than that. We're supposed to be leading the world, not just responding to these mass crises and expressing damn prayers and condolences over and over and over again. I said this how many times? I've done so many of these. Reason I haven't done all the damn press conferences yesterday, I was here the whole day, is I can't do those again. I can't keep doing them, saying the same thing over and over again. I mean, it's insane. You know, so I'm here trying to feed my responsibility and soul at the same time, but the soul of America is in real peril unless we fundamentally address these issues. And we know how to do it. California's led the way. We lead the nation. We know gun safety saves lives, period, full stop. It doesn't save every life. We're not solving for every incident. I get that. We're humbled by it. But no state is outperformed, and you see that. The data bears that out. We got serious about these things and led the nation on assault weapons bans, large capacity magazine clips, background checks on ammunition, waiting periods, and red flag laws. It's saving lives.
So there you go. You can see the theme there, can't you? Government doesn't want you to have the ability to stop the government, and they can do whatever they want with you. But we'll just go on to the final one now. So here we go. Trans van. So here's trans van. Can you actually spot anything in that number? I think you can. We have got a big 777 in the middle of it. We've also got at the end here a 3 and an A and a 1. A is 1, so we've got 311. 311 for 3 times 11 for 33 for masonry. Now, I haven't called it out either way. I'll leave you to make that final judgment. You can put in the comments what you think, if you wish. And what I'll say after that quite long video is thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and goodbye.